Cafe, your place for radiant wellness and soul-forward living. Join your host, Jess Juntunen, quantum healer, intuitive, and midwife to the awakening spirit, as we dive into quantum tools, wisdom teachings, and integrated healing pathways for transformation. You can live a life of freedom to be without limitation. Cozy up, grab your tea, and enjoy this hour of expansion, wisdom, and love. Namaste. Hello and welcome to Soul Fusion Cafe. I'm Jess Juntunen, your grateful and happy host to be here on another Tuesday afternoon at noon Eastern Time. And welcome. Welcome to this moment. Welcome to this call. This is the hour of community support, upliftment, radiant wellness, soul forward living. And today is May 10th. A beautiful, incredible moment. I cannot even believe it. Can you believe that May is here? That May is actively proceeding? How has your month been? How are you feeling? Feel free to hop in the chat. Hello over at onenesstalkradio.com, as well as over at Facebook Oneness Talk Radio and YouTube Oneness Talk Radio. You know, it really is incredible to broadcast in all these places, and things really are expanding in so many amazing, incredible ways, and truly, it's a blessing. It's a blessing that we have each other. It's a blessing that we have this space and this time, to really expand, to really grow, to really hold on to one another, because that's what it's about, is finding the other beings that you know, are saying, I'm here for this. I'm here for expansion. I'm here for consciousness and being together, holding hands, linking arms, because we need one another, and that's why I'm here. And, those of you that are here week to week and go, oh my gosh, where did you go, Jess? I'm really working on and cooking on a little upgrade to Soul Fusion Cafe, including a new time and place, because as this afternoon time slot has been so beautiful for so long, because it's a beautiful lunchtime, I have come to find that no longer does Tuesday afternoon necessarily work with all of the commitments and things that I am personally going through. And it's time for an up level of everything. So I don't have the announcement for what day and time I'm moving to, but the best thing you can do if you want to make sure you find out the scoop of when and where to find me, I should be back here next week to announce it, but who knows? Maybe I'll have made the move and switched by then. So I would definitely get over to selfascensionstudios.com. That's my personal website for my own business as a healer, coach, and mentor. And I have a newsletter option there. If you go down to the bottom of the homepage, or the contact page, either way, and you will find the newsletter. Get on it, and I will be announcing there, when the show is going to be moving to, so that you can tune in and be there. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be an up level, and we have the full moon coming in this weekend. So you really want to be on my newsletter list, because I'll be giving all the details very soon about registering for that and what time it's going to be at. We have a lot of events happening this weekend, so I'm making sure it's synchronistic with the divine and what day and time it's going to be offered. But that's happening this weekend. So if you've been part of full moon ceremonies or not, and that interests you, please just hop on my newsletter. I don't bombard you with too much content. I could probably utilize it even more than I do to share things with you all, but I will always give updates when there's the full moon, and I'll give updates when there's events and inspiration and things like that. So in this moment, thank you all. I've had so many beautiful beings that have followed along this journey. It's been going on 3 years of Oneness Talk Radio magic. I was on a Sunday show, then I moved to a Tuesday afternoon, so it may go back to a weekend or an evening. We shall see. But I am so grateful for the community that's here. I'm so grateful for everything we share. And, I feel the blessing of this network, of this community in so many ways. There's so many other amazing hosts here. There's so much going on. And it's there's just plenty of nonsense to listen to in the world, so it's great to have a place that we can plug into, chat, connect with other beings that are here for the expansion. So yeah, how has your May been? It's expansive, and it's the choice month, right? And this is something, shared through Master Lady Kira Ra, Wisdom Teacher Sri Ram Ka, the information about the month, about the energies, about the time. Whenever I do share about any of this on my own show, it is informed by the yoga of self ascension and by these forecasts. So if you've never tuned in before, or you're not part of the community with Sri and Kira, the yoga of self ascension, you know, please tap in if anything I'm sharing resonates. A lot of people in our chat and people that show up here are already part of that community. However, there's plenty of you that are not or don't know about it. And if anything I share resonates, and if anything within your heart is guiding you, please check out shriankira.com. Please go check out their shows at official Shri and Kira YouTube and here at Oneness Talk Radio. Their show is also their Sunday service is broadcast. There's so many free resources, so much incredible support that is available to us. And what they offer is bar none the most profound, accurate, authentic information there is out there, without any fear, without any ego. It's there to support humanity. So definitely encourage you to check that out if you are not already checking it out. This past Sunday, we had an incredible Sunday service. And this coming Saturday, I mentioned, full moon ceremony will be happening. I'm looking at Saturday evening again. Get on my newsletter list, go to my website, get on there, and I will let you know the time. But there is also an incredible event, Ascended Abundance, that is happening this Saturday. And this is really about up leveling. It's there's so much talk about abundance on this planet right now. It's a hot topic, right? The secret, right? The secret formula, and there's a lot of manifestation work happening, and it's beautiful. And it also has its limitations because a lot of what's being taught out there is still coming from a density perspective. What do I mean by that? Density is the word that Archangel Zadkiel uses, and we use in the yoga of self-ascension to talk about the energy that's here and prevalent on this earth right now, that we are a dense form, right? All energy is in motion. However, because things move so slowly here, we have a solidity to things, right? The desk, the table, the chair, your body, there's a density. And thoughts, even though we can't see them, are still a very low frequency. They're density. Emotions are density. There's so much tied to it. And it's a lot to awaken ourselves through that, because density is very magnetic, it's very hypnotic, and it's so here to keep us entrapped right now in a victim consciousness that's everywhere, right? So the conversations about manifestation and abundance and things, they often do still, they're rooted in that density construct of like, oh my gosh, help me. Let me say the right mantra. Let me say the right prayer. Like, how many of us, I've done this, right? Like, write out a blank check to yourself for $1 million and put it somewhere. I mean, these are beautiful ways to start aligning with abundance. However, they come from a sense of save me, rescue me, somebody give me the answer of how I can do this versus sourcing it from inside. And when we are really sourcing and tapping into our true abundance, it goes beyond money, of course. That's the most dense of dense forms of abundance. We do need to use that in this world. We call it Shakti exchange at the yoga self ascension because there's an exchange that happens. And because it's the currency of this world to get things done, we do utilize it. And you don't want to just be like, no, it's bad. Nothing from density is bad. It's all sea of neutrality, right? It's our own qualification we put on something that says it's bad or good. No. But true abundance comes from removing all the limitations. So a lot of law of attraction kind of stuff, while beautiful and a great starting jumping off point, and maybe it's a great destination for many, no judgment. However, if you're really ready to go past that and say, okay, what in me invited this to be, right? The mastery expression, those of you in divine mastery presence know this one well. And if you don't know what divine mastery presence is, hey, shoot me an email because we'll probably run another group next year. Uh, it is so powerful to really gaze within and say, okay, what are my limitations or blocks? And true abundance and flow goes to everything in every way, being supported everywhere. I'm still working on this. Uh, I'm going to be there Saturday to learn more, right? There's so much we can do, and we seek to understand and learn with our mind, right? First, and the mind does need enough information so it can relax, so that it can say, I'm safe. I'm safe enough to receive the flow of information now and up level because I understand enough. And then there's the moment of trust where we say, okay, mind, there's things that you just won't understand, and we have to go forward and go forth with uh, whatever is necessary to what words do I want to bring us to the next place, to up level us, and it goes beyond our mind, and but everything gets triggered. Our mind gets triggered, our emotions get triggered. Things are so tied to our worth, our belief systems, all of that, and what it really means to even be free, because there's so much information now. The beautiful part about the awakening consciousness on this planet, that there's this beautiful renaissance of spirituality that's outside of the framework of traditional dogmas and fundamental religion constructs, that there are like we know from the data that while people may be leaving some of those more traditional religious paths, that doesn't mean that they are any less seeking spirit. People are seeking it in different ways, and there's been such an expansion in the new age movement, or whatever, consciousness movement, whatever you want to call it, so that the things I'm talking about right now, even 5 years ago, people look at me like my eyes are crossed, but more and more people are recognizing this, right? I can talk to grandpas about that I do energy healing, and they're like, "Oh, I have a niece that does Reiki." I love it. It's becoming more quote unquote mainstream. Although Sri and Kira say, we are the mainstream. Everyone else is trying to find the stream, but like a lot of people are off course. A whole lot of the planet's off course, but we're the mainstream. But I love that these conversations are coming in, and there's this expansion of spirituality. However, at the same time, because density is so strong, because there is such a pull to keep things as they are, that there's so many beings out there teaching spirituality. Even if they're not conscious they're doing it, it's still coming from the construct of that victim triangle, right? Victim, rescuer, abuser, that there has to be somebody to tell us how to do something to save us, or that there's got to be an element of fear involved, right? Or doubt involved. And that's why you have to keep coming back for more. So pay attention to your heart. If you're listening to a message or a being or somebody that's giving you spiritual guidance, does this feel uplifting to me? If anything ever leaves you feeling less than, doubtful, in fear, then that's a moment to really pause and reflect and say, is this something, information I want to receive? Because Spiritual dogma, spiritual arrogance is just so high on the planet right now. It's extraordinary. I have had the blessing for the last 2 years of working closely with Shri and Kira and meeting so many beings from around the planet who are big names, or people doing the work. And well, so optimistic because meeting some that are just so incredible and really truly authentic also has been disheartening at times and illuminating because it's like there are people that say all the words but are not in alignment with them. You have to really pay attention beyond the words of what anybody may be sharing right now. So I love Oneness Talk Radio. I love Shri and Kira because it's a place you can come where you're not being, I mean, make your own decision, but you're not being manipulated. You get to come and make your own decisions, and all that's being shared here is from an open heart and integrity. So, choice, made choice. What does all this have to do with choice? It's like, where is your energy aligned? Are you scattering yourself? Are you listening to multiple forecasts and multiple places trying to get the right formula? Or are you really going inside and trusting yourself and going to the sources that are most in alignment for your support? Right? So, if anything's resonating, join us Saturday. It's at 2 Eastern. We have an incredible uh, class journey, the ascended abundance, really breaking free of all those density constructs. Really, this is the conversation that we should really have 1,000 beings sitting at, and I believe that's going to happen soon. The work of the yoga of self-ascension is so rich, it just hasn't hit the entire stride of all the beings that are ready to receive it, because there's so many more that are ready to receive it that are looking for something else. So incredible moment, incredible time. And the choice, yeah, this is the choice moment. So I'm going to pop up, let's see, the call-in number 517-208-1500. The call board is open today. If you have a question about anything being shared, you have a sharing, you have a miracle happening in your life, I can do a mini intuitive reading if you have something that you want to share or ask. And, feel free to call in. I try to pop over to the chat and see what's going on. I see people at Facebook, I see people at YouTube. Hello, namaste, beautiful ones. I just love the supportive, beautiful chat that's happening. And if you're not chatting, or, you're over at the recording after the show, just thank you for being here wherever you are, however you're tuning in and listening at this moment. Hi, Angel. Hi, Gary. Hi, Purple. Beautiful beings. Thank you so much for sharing all your love and your love with one another. It really does uh, make it does make me smile, and it makes a difference to see you guys sharing and loving with each other. It's really incredible. So this May moment is huge. I mean, I got to share a little bit. I really just do have to share a little bit uh, from my own story, my own playbook. It's been a crazy rocket ship of a month. And when Shri and Kira shared that it's going to be fast this whole year, I mean, I really thought about everything I was choosing and saying yes to. Believe me, everything I'm sitting in and have said yes to, I've thought about. And I have known it's bigger than anything my mind would ever conceive. And it's a big deal. And it really goes back to, I mean, I've been working with them, Women Wellness Awakenings. We did a lot of things together. And then this last year, it's really picking up. And I really stepped into this role holding as the president of Avesa International. And, eventually, soon, I hope very soon, the school and university. So much coming. So I said yes to a role that someone needed to step into, that apparently my soul, I know, said, You do that. You learn that. You do what you need to do." Right. And last summer, I had time to reflect and think about what I was saying yes to, and that was my first tattoo, that I received, is this beautiful snake, in the red with the gold head. And it is that reminder because last summer, as I was considering all of everything, I was walking and thinking and meditating. That's my favorite way to meditate, connect, get information flow, is to go for a walk. And uh, a snake crossed my path. And I was like, okay, and this is as I'm deciding major things that are going to change my life. I get it. I get what the snake means for me, why it's there. And I'm like, and I never see snakes hiking here in northern Michigan. We have gardener snakes, whatever they're called, where they have them, they're in the yard or whatever, but you don't see them on hiking trails. Never have. But I was like, okay. The next day I went to a totally different part of the woods, and not even close. I was like in a different location, different area, like 20 miles away, on a path, happened again. I'm like, okay, okay. And I'm like, really, guys, if you do it to me a third time, then that's it. I get it. I'll do whatever I need. I'm like already saying yes, but show me one more time. It happened on the next walk. It did. It happened 3 walks, 3 different places, 3 completely different geographical locations, 3 times, And why do I share this? Because pay attention. The universe is always talking to you, and it's been nothing but that, like shedding the skin, transforming, connection, creation. And the snake is so important to the Kenyari, and of course many other lineages, right? It's such a symbol, so what symbols are alive and working in your life? The universe communicates to us all the time. Because we're here in density, we have to rely on those winks and nudges that show us, there is energy that's being communicated to us. There's messages that come through different channels that we can receive through the filters of this form and interpret, and sometimes we interpret them as our ego would like to, it's always a fun dance. Like, is this my ego, or, is this my soul speaking? Because sometimes what we want is very different than what we need, and we don't always want to hear what we need to hear, right? It's like the whole thing when your mom tells you something and you're like, whatever, mom, what do you know? And she did know, right? It's like the universe sometimes is telling us something we don't really want to hear. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it is always a fun moment of discernment. If you ask for an answer or guidance and it comes in a way that's unexpected, just pay attention and see if you can receive, excuse me, without it being of the ego, with it being from a full heart, you know? And that's a very important discernment. Am I receiving the information from a sense of what I want to hear? Is there something I really need to hear? I'm resisting, right? So, for me, it's like everything since last summer, especially with, I mean, I shared the story about the snake, just because it's like, for me, very special and a reminder. And when I share about it, it helps solidify again and again my yes. And that's the thing with choices and yes moments. You got to keep saying yes. Like since I said yes then, did I have to keep saying yes again and again? Yes. Will I have to keep saying yes? Yes. There will be every opportunity, every moment, everything that will try to throw itself in front of you. And it will mostly be your ego, but the world also will throw things at you to stop you. Oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Moving a lot of energy today. And, it's knowing that everything's going to be thrown at us at some point. It's going to be your friends or work or your beliefs, and you're going to have to make your choice for that moment. And the comfort is there's no wrong choice, you know. However, there's consequences. And consequences is a negative connotation and density, but a consequence can be having the most fabulous, miraculous outcome, also, right? So, but for every choice we make, there's some something put in motion. And every unconscious choice we make, we're putting things into motion. So there's no wrong, there's no right. However, the more uh, I emerge on my own path and process, the more I see I enjoy it to be that I that I've integrated particular lessons and past choices in a way that I don't have to necessarily repeat something to learn it again. Sometimes we do though, or to get a new nuance, However, it's also about saying, I'm appreciating that this could be a little easier, that there could be more flow and that a certain choice will offer me that, even if it's the uncomfortable feeling choice. Because a powerful yes is going to feel uncomfortable. You got a big decision in your face. It's going to be something you have to put some time into. It's going to be something that you have to really be with for a minute and sometimes dance with your ego, because if it's too easy of a yes, on something that's so huge, like you got to check in too. I mean, yeah, there's like the yes that's so like my soul says yes, 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 and then like the next morning you wake up and the mind goes but, or sometimes there's the like yes, However, have you really sat with it and discerned who the yes is coming from? We have all these aspects of our being, this one of form and the mind and all that comes with that. And we have the multidimensional light being that we are, that uh, supersedes the mind, doesn't need that. And learning to tap into that wisdom and guidance is a little tricky here on planet Earth. That's why we have amazing teachers and beings and resources that help us to find our way. So, I feel like this is the choice month of all choice months. We're always cycling through awareness, experience, choice, awareness, experience, choice, right? It's the ever refining cycle that we're on. And I mean, every second or every breath, it could be awareness, experience, choice. There's these cycles. The weeks follow cycles, the days, the months. So May is in that choice month. The experience of April births the choice of May, right? And we'll have an awareness of that choice in June. And there's still like plenty of time to say, oh my God, let me get conscious about what I'm choosing. Because, like we've shared, you're choosing whether you're conscious or not. What are you saying yes to? And if you say no to something, it's saying yes to something else. So, what are the choices in front of you? I'd love to hear some of the choice moments that folks are navigating right now. I really would. And I'm seeing the chat. Namaste. Hello, Juan. Greetings from Ecuador. I wish I was back in Ecuador. Thank you, Purple. I did yawn when you took the evasive breath. Sometimes yawning is moving a lot of energy. Sometimes it is part of an energy movement. Thank you, Angel. Beautiful affirmations and connections. Thank you. Thank you, Purple, for your good vibes and your love and support. It's again, beautiful community, whether you're choosing to hop in the chat or not. It's wonderful to connect here with you all. And just popping over to the call board again, if anybody feels like sharing, what's this choice month like for you? What are you choosing? What are you noticing? What are you aware of? Call in 517-208-1500 or share it in the chat. And if you catch the show and it's a recording or something, go ahead and pop me an email and let me know, what your question is or sharing. And I might be able to just bring that right onto the air on my next episode, right? So I know you're all navigating. I know you're all navigating a lot right now. I know there's moments that you're like, oh my goodness, because with the energy that it is right now, Like, think about it. Now we're fully in Mercury retrograde today. We've been in it for a while. We've been in the pre-phase, but we're absolutely in it today. And I'm not necessarily as versed in Restream screen sharing, but I have done it successfully before. Let me see if I can pull up Master Lady Kira Ra's incredible calendar. Okay. Oh my gosh, did it freeze my screen while I was looking around in that unattractive pose? All right. Share screen. Aha. Okay. So this is the up level calendar a month. Again, if you enjoy anything being shared here, go grab this calendar for $4.44. It's really a guidebook for the year beyond just being a calendar. Grab it at shriankira.com, and I just want to share it because every time, every time I gaze at this, more is revealed. It's very much an energetic attunement that occurs while you receive the information from this every time you touch it. So with the Merkaba fully illuminated, the ignition of the Taurus is co-created from a pure center. The Merkaba is fully illuminated, right? That's the six-pointed Merkaba. That is, and I really encourage you to go watch last Sunday's show about the Ascended Numerology for this week. I won't even attempt to share the vastness of that other than, a few of the highlights, right? This is a month that is a 5. This is a month that is so about our vision and so about birthing, you know, it's so rich, and we have to be carrying the vision. You have got to be willing to carry your vision, or it might just take a little vacation until you're ready to pick it up. But the world needs you. The world needs as many of us carrying and holding the vision and birthing. This is the moment. May is the new world. This month is the new world. The energies of peace, love, and joy, Shanti, Bhakti, Ananda, have arisen and are assisting us to stabilize our ascended presence. But we have to choose to step into it. And then you're going to see, yeah, right here. Today, Mercury retrograde begins, and it is the retrograde of all retrogrades. Check out Shrinkira's last show last Sunday, right? And it's the full moon coming in on the 16th. Holy cats, and we have Monday magic that night, so like I said, I've not decided if my full moon's going to be Saturday night, Sunday night of the eclipse, because we have a lot going on this weekend to tune into. We'll see. We'll see where we're guided there, but those full moon gatherings, get on my email list. Like I said, selfascensionstudios.com if you're not already, and I will send out an announcement about that, because they are a very powerful time to come together. They are peak up levels. So, I mean, if you're feeling a lot, there's no wonder, that you are. And it's a time like none other. It's a time like none other. We have never, ever been through this before like this. We have never been in this kind of energy before. Have mercy on yourself. Have mercy on yourself. Have mercy on yourself. You are going to feel ascension symptoms, and there are new ones all the time. There are your classic ascension symptoms. However, we're seeing things that have just not been a thing, and they're emergent. We don't know what ascension symptoms are going to be present in June. We just know what's present now. So you might be feeling a lot of things, and your body's trying to integrate. So the best thing we can really do to stabilize the peace, love, and joy, right, is to really honor this vessel of form. And, every day being like, what am I choosing this month? Like every day, what am I choosing? Who am I choosing? How am I choosing? What is my choice today? and writing on that, reflecting on that, meditating on that. And I know for me, with all the changes and everything I've had to say yes to, it's such an up level that sometimes, yeah, my body is tired or my body feels zapped, you know, and it needs the extra reassurance, you know. So if you're feeling tiredness, you're feeling anxiety, you're feeling, you know, whether it's emotional, mental, physical symptoms, you know, that's the call. That's the call to pay attention to your body. Pay attention to what it needs. Pay attention to what it's deserving. It's it's okay. Like it's really okay. You know, and it's got to feel that you've got it, or it's going to act out like, you know, the young child that needs attention. And things will often express subtly in our energy field. And then if we don't really get the memo, we start to experience it in our emotional and mental fields. And if we're still not getting the memo to look, it shows up in our physical form, right? But also, as we ascend and say yes, the body of consciousness, right? There's all those medicines and the bodies, you know. We've got our mental, spiritual, emotional, physical, and consciousness. And consciousness just lifts so effortlessly. It doesn't have all the density pieces. Spiritual still does have some of that, right? Mental and emotional, certainly, and physical. It's like, as the less dense parts lift and rise, the rest of the being is having that hard time because we're in all this new energy. It's like being in the soup, right? And we're getting created. We have to simmer for a while, you know, but that could be uncomfortable depending how much you're simmering or where you are in the pot, I guess. But it's that, you know, how can I support myself because something's happening, right? Or it's like the good old butterfly analogy, the caterpillar turning into the butterfly, right? That something's happening, and you can't necessarily rush that process. If you try to rush a caterpillar into its butterfly and try to like break open the chrysalis, you know, it's not going to make it, right? So there's a part of that process of like facilitating the environment that supports the body in its transformation, because these energies, the higher frequencies that are available and pouring into the earth right now, are making things easier and also making things challenging depending where it's impacting us. And the physical body is the place, you know, and the emotional that really feel it. I'm just checking the chat here. Leslie, I did say no to something today and I'm feeling great sadness. What a great lesson. You know, let yourself feel whatever you're feeling. And thank you so much for sharing. Because sometimes saying no to something, it does mean we're saying yes to something else, but it's not always the easy decision to have to make. And yeah, we learn, right? But to allow the feelings and emotions is so important. And I think sometimes, you know, I love that you share that, because we get on our path of our spirituality, our consciousness, and we say, I like, you know, I should be able to, like, it's almost like spiritual bypassing, right? It's almost like that toxic positivity that goes out and just says, okay, well, be thankful for the lesson and move on. Yes, be thankful for a lesson, but there's sometimes where it's like, I don't even know what the gift is. I'm screaming at you, universe, like, thank you for whatever the fuck I'm getting out of this. But I am mad right now, you know, or I'm sad right now. I know there's a gift. I don't even know what it is yet. And I'm sure I'll figure it out. But like, let yourself feel, you know, and let yourself cry if you need to cry. Let the body move. And you're going to feel a lot of emotional sensitivity this month. I am, you know, it's have mercy on yourself, you know, and in the no to something that's just not in alignment for us, honor the sadness, honor the grieving pieces, honor what needs to be acknowledged, you know. And it's just, if we don't, if we just say, it could be easy to say, oh, just move on, be grateful, thankful. Uh, then it's like taking the wound, right? And not cleaning it out, and not, just putting a band-aid on it dirty, and letting it just not breathe or anything, right? So we can't shortcut the healing. We can't just put a band-aid on it. I mean, we can, but it's gonna come up again. So it's best to honor it and everything that comes forward, right? And then go inward and receive the wisdom. And I love the safe practice. I love the safe practice for anything that is triggering. And if it comes to emotional or mental blocks or anything like that, the safe practice is taught in a few of Shri and Kira's books. It's on their website as well. And I'm pretty sure that practice is there. And but it's easy to find. Email me, I'll help you find it if you need help. And SAFE stands for stop, acknowledge, feel, expand. Anytime we're feeling or noticing, if you notice, okay, so this is the beautiful part about healing too. You don't have to dig and dig and dig and process and process and process. Things are moving so fast now, like we don't even have time to do that. And that's probably the blessing. For a long time I wanted to do that. We all do. It's human nature. Like, I've got to understand what happened to me and why, and have the labels for all the players in it and heal from it, right? And that's beautiful, but it is a long way around. uh, you don't have to necessarily identify where something came from. Maybe it is a past life, maybe it's this life, maybe it's multiple things. Sometimes you do get the bubble and awareness of what it was, and that's incredible too. But the point is, it's comforting that you don't have to know or dig to heal, right? And if you do have something though that's really prevalent in there, and it's like a trauma or something that's just deep in your energy field, then you really want to work the safe process, and also really start applying EFT tapping, some somatic healing, something that really gets into the tissues and the nervous system to help rewire. So I do acknowledge that. I've done a lot of work with trauma, and my not just my own. I mean, of course, that led me to being interested in helping other people, because I worked on resolving trauma a long time. So some of these practices, you might know specifically an instance or a memory that's like a frozen energy stuck in your energy field. I mean, that's when you really want to get in, like I said, EFT tapping, evasive balancing, things like that. Shoot me a message over at my website, reach out. I can recommend other healers too. There's a lot of support out there if you're feeling that. So with that caveat, the safe practice is, such a beautiful way to not have to engage the whole story that's behind a trigger, but to move through it. So the key is the witnessing energy. That's kind of where I started in this little last spiral of conversation. The witness, right? Just by witnessing brings healing. Like, that's what I was saying. You don't necessarily have to know what to do with it, but observing and be like, oh, I'm triggered right now. Witnessing the trigger, that I am indeed feeling something. Already the awareness brings in the healing, you know? Like, I just love that. So that is like a relief, isn't it? You don't have to do much. You just have to witness and be aware, right? There's no doing. So in the safe practice, like, say you just realized, I'm so triggered right now. Somebody said something, or I thought something, or I watched the news, or I don't know, something happened. My kid said, pissed me off. I don't know, whatever it is. But you acknowledge, you're like, oh my God, I am triggered right now. I am triggered right now. Hand to heart, taking a breath. Stop. The safe practice, the first step, stop. Like, just stop for a moment. The mind, the engagement, everything. And then acknowledge. I am swimming in the river of the ego, right? I'm aware, acknowledge, aware. I am seeing it. It's the witnessing energy, right? Like, I can see it. I know it. I am stuck in some muck. There it is, right? So S-A, F, feel it. Got to feel it to heal it. Somebody said that. Somebody wise once said that, right? You don't want to swim. The key is you don't want to swim forever in it. This is where a lot of people go in their healing and just stay there. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. You do want to identify the feeling, like, just experience it for a moment. Where are you feeling it? Is it in your body? Is it your whole energy field? What are you experiencing? And then expand, hand to heart, taking a breath. And let yourself expand from the heart, however that feels to you. And I promise you, practice the safe process through anything that is triggering you, bringing stuff up. You're going to come to a greater resolution. You're certainly going to come to a greater sense of peace, love, and joy. We cannot solve the problems from the state of consciousness that created them, right? Albert Einstein, a favorite quote of ours in the yoga self-ascension community, he was practicing it, right? And our mind will go around and around and around. My mind is so strong. It's so smart. And you know what? I know yours is too. And intelligent people have the most issue with this because we come up with so many ways to analyze, to think about, to look at. And it's a blessing, but give the mind the things that it's here meant to do. It's trying to control everything, right? So, just saying, if you're an intelligent person, this is definitely difficult because you have just that many more ways to think about stuff. So, yeah, take that as you will, but give yourself mercy, give yourself the grace. Angel, I love that you're starting up a new moon circle. And Angel's got a show over here at Oneness Talk Radio. If you have not heard Angel's show yet, she's in the chat right now, and she's going to be doing New Moon Circle. So I love that so much. Thank you, Purple. I love this sharing from Gary. The rose bush is a perfect metaphor for life and reincarnation. Everyone is a bud. The bloom is up to us. If you don't bloom, you become a thorn. Either way, you are the bush. I love that. I'm both. I'm the thorn and the bloom. Oh, Leslie, holding space around you. You can always choose again. You can always choose again. That's the beauty. If a no came from fear, you can always choose again. Always. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful chat and beautiful supportive community. And, just love seeing you all here. And I'm so grateful to be here. If you didn't hop in early in the show, I was sharing that I don't know if it's happening next week. I'm so in the emergent flow. I don't know if it's happening next week or not, but I am going to be adjusting my show time and leveling my show. I'm so sorry I missed you the last Tuesday or two because Tuesday afternoons were my favorite cozy hour. However, as things shift and emerge, I know there's a moment to shift and up level this show and broadcast, and it needs to be at a different time so I can fully serve everybody because there's so many pieces going on, and Tuesdays are just a different flow than when I originally moved to this time over a year ago. So I've been feeling that call to up level Soul Fusion Cafe and all of that. So the best way to find out any announcements, like I shared, is to go over to my website, selfascensionstudios.com. I'll pop it up on the screen. Selfascensionstudios.com. Get on my newsletter list. I send out the updates about the full moon ceremony. I'll give you the time that's happening. All of that's going to come out in the newsletter and social media this week. Hey, friend me on Facebook. That's cool. Or follow my page. But I find that just friend me on Facebook. I post it on there too. I find that there is something so beautiful and so emergent right now that I'm in a very moment to moment flow with the universe and this May energy and the choices that are before us, and I know you all are too. And I know that you've got this and we've got this together. Have mercy on yourself, right? The 4 steps of self-ascension that are never in any particular set order, but we spend time in one of them at any given time, right? Surrender. That's, surrender the ego, surrender over to your truth, release judgment. Release judgment of yourself, especially first, then it becomes easy to release it of others. And to be in unconditional love of yourself, of your life, of who you are. Every bit of yourself, the messy and the parts you don't want to honor, all of it. All of it, right? And be in union. And that is to be in union with your true essence and this body of form. Unified. Bring the energy of your true nature into this body of form and create the world. We are the creators. We are the new world. We are making a difference. You are making a difference. You are incredible. So please join me for the full moon ceremony. Stay tuned to the newsletter for the exact time and place. And please join us Saturday for Ascended Abundance. You can still register over at shriankira.com. I will be there and excited. That's a Saturday at 2 Eastern. Be there on Sunday for our Sunday service. That's at noon Eastern. Breaking ground on the Pyramid of Peace. I didn't even get to go into that today. Pyramid of Peace is happening, and there will be more around the world, and there will be opportunities to learn more and be part of all of this. Like, so much is emerging and expanding. There's so much I can't keep up, and I love it. So loving you all. Have a beautiful, brilliant, incredible day. Keep being you. Keep lifting. Keep shining. Keep thriving. I cannot wait to be with you again. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I love you all. Namaste.
You've been listening to Soul Fusion Cafe with Jess Juntunen. Connect with Jess and learn more at her inspiration hub, selfascensionstudios.com, and over on Instagram at JoyLoveJess and Soul Fusion Cafe Radio, or over at Facebook at Self-Ascension Studios and Soul Fusion Cafe Radio. Thank you for listening. See you next week. Namaste and many blessings.